Hello everyone and welcome to episode 112 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, where today we are finishing up the 4th episode of Living Road Season 1, as we can go ahead and just jump straight into the Nightmare Inns. And then in the latter half of this episode I have a very special thing that I talked about last time, where let's go ahead and go straight into the core of the Tower of Nightmares, where we can do the Nightmare Inns story mission, where we can meet up with Marjorie and Casimir once again and hopefully bring an end to this tower, where we have Marge and Kaz.
It's been weeks and it's still alive. We get close and something interferes. It has to be one of Scarlet's tricks.
I'm so tired. What are we missing?
Not we, me. I'm missing some key element. I'm so exhausted I can't see it. Will you have a look around? See if you can spot the weak point of these magical defenses.
We'll be here if you need us.
So we can search the area for a clue to the core's defenses, where we have a lot of stuff around here: disabled injector, supplies, antitoxin delivery notes, antitoxin variant that we can go ahead and interact with. But we got a really interesting thing over there, a vine passage. Let's take the remaining antitoxin, vial leftover antitoxin, might be useful. We got a withered pod here where we fought that powerful crate last episode. But let's come over to this vine passage leading to somewhere else in the tower that we have not been to yet. Let's go ahead and interact with this and then pour the antitoxin on the vines. And this just opened up something, and we can go ahead and come through here to find a lot of stuff in here.
Damn Scarlet's eyes. She knew we wouldn't be able to just kill this plant.
Where it looks like we have a secret room that Scarlet Briar was working out of. And there is a lot of stuff here. Let's begin just looking at stuff, where we have a molten coolant box, which is really interesting to see. Where of course Scarlet does have all these different like factions and like background alliances across Tyria. We have a lab table here. And then looks like we have this letter that we can read. I'm not going to find all of them, but a letter from Grand Duchess Valen, Ciara Secondborn. I hope this letter finds you in poor health and a general state of ruin. It appears that I made a grievous lapse in judgment by letting you and your brigand elk take shelter in the generous bowels of my arbor. I was promised information, secrets I have been chasing for years, and what do I have to show for it? Nothing but a small army of line guards scurrying around my sanctuary where they do not belong. Never mind that you had the nerve, nay the audacity, to recruit my courtiers away to carry out your pointless schemes. Do you think you are clever? I know you lured Kaith into a trap. I even know that you ensnared my dear heart within your wretched web for a fleeting moment. It must have been quite the intriguing repartee, enlightening to say the least. So heed these words. I will get the answers I am owed. You have exceeded the limits of my patience. Keep an extra eye on the shadows, my dear. Never rest. Never blink. Expect me, Grand Duchess Valen, Firstborn. Also have an Asuran recorder here, where the first phrase says, "Nobody breaks my toys but me." Second phrase is, "These watch nights you're so proud of, mine now." And then the third phrase, "Nothing wrong with you I can't fix forever." Then we got a scribbled diagram, and we can try to read this. "Stupid humans always in my way. Do not use the deactivation phrase until we've secured the Queen's Pavilion." Some sort of interesting like pod right there. We have like a Savari anvil and a forge here, where this forge burns brightly with an arcane fire, ready for the crafting of mystical recipes from unique ingredients. Or maybe we can create something. We got this inquest terminal, where we can just turn off the power to the console. And then we have some things attacking us. Let's go ahead, bring them all together. There's one on the other side there too. There's also a fallen watch knight. And this Aetherblade hallucination right here that we can go ahead and quickly deal with as well. Then let's go ahead and resurrect this watch knight. And then we can go ahead and talk with it. And then let's try using the phrases. Where we got a watch work core. So I guess that's good. A molten coolant box right over here that we can go ahead and interact with. And let's force an overload. Where then we got some of these guys we can go ahead and deal with. I think we have options where we could try to like not get engaged in combat whatsoever, but I don't think that's really necessary. We can go ahead and just easily kill them. Maybe. They do have shields though. There we go. And then let's come over to this toxic spore pod. The last thing, right? I guess really quickly, we got a storage tank here. Perhaps this was involved in the tower's plant growth. Let's go ahead and try to smash the pod open. And then we got a couple of crate in here. Go ahead and deal with them very quickly. There's also a toxic knight on the other side that we can go ahead and deal with. Right, a dog's currently chewing away at something. Then we can go ahead and use the forge to create a shield disabler. Let's place all the ingredients in here. And then return to the tower's core. We have Margie here with us, carrying it for us. We can leave the watch knight and this entire interesting area behind. Some sort of secret laboratory. But Casimir Mead right over here. And we can see the core of the tower that we've been injecting antitoxin into for a few weeks now, lore-wise, even though it's been only a little bit of time between these two episodes.
That'll do the trick. Did you hear that? This is going to sound crazy, but what if it knows what we just did? What if it knows what we're about to do?
And what exactly are we about to do?
We're going to pump every last ounce of my antitoxin into the stock of this thing until it can't take another drop. It's been a long day.
Let's go ahead and administer the final bit of antitoxin.
Jory, I think we've done it.
We gotta get out of here. When the last dose hits the plant's heart, all bets are off. Who knows what'll happen?
One portal, coming right up. Look out! Toxic Alliance!
Why can't they just leave us to spoil their plans in peace?
Who wants in on this?
So now we have a big fight here, and we can go ahead and just instantly die, I guess. Where we have this Knight of Rot here. Where we just need to survive until now, where we now have this portal that we can escape through. And we have now successfully destroyed the tower, where we can regroup with our friends at the forward camp.
I wanted to congratulate you on solving the counselor's murder.
My, aren't you a big boy?
One of the biggest in my homestead, actually. I'm Bran. Pleased to meet you.
Well, Bram, I don't currently have any mountain-sized acquaintances, so the pleasure's all mine. You can call me Marjorie.
Hi there. I'm Casimir, Marjorie's assistant. Are you the ones who went after Scarlet?
Yeah, I'm Bran, and that's Rox.
Hello. I bet you two turn heads when you break through a crowd.
Funny. I was thinking the same thing about you.
Well, then I'm doubly glad to meet you.
And it looks like our two sets of friends have formally met each other and maybe will become friends of themselves alongside us, where we have now completed episode 4 of the Tower of Nightmares, which means we get yet another bag that we can go ahead and equip. And we are really now approaching the end of Living World Season 1. But I now want to go ahead and do something a little interesting, where I'm going to go ahead and swap to my main account just for a little bit and explore original Lion's Arch, because we do see Lion's Arch get rebuilt in the future. And at the end of Living World Season 1, we can go ahead and obtain an item to explore the original version of Lion's Arch, just as like a fun little item, where we have to do a bunch of achievements that I don't really want to do on this account, as I talked a lot about last episode. So we can go ahead and just skip ahead and explore a bit of that, and then we can return to this account. And here we are in the memory of old Lion's Arch, where we have the entrance from the Gendaran Fields, the old one at least, and it leads out into the Traders Forum. And it is just a really, really cool looking area, where I really enjoy Old Lion's Arch aesthetically. And there's definitely, like, you know, a few weak points here and there, but I just have a lot of nostalgia for this place. And it is cool to see it reintroduced into the game, though its reintroduction was like a little bit weird, because we have this map here and we can see how Lion's Arch was back in the day, and it has like all of the amenities and stuff, but we can't really waypoint out of here to go somewhere else, where we have to like leave this area through like the special teleportation scroll that you get to come into here, and then you can waypoint out, which basically for all extents and purposes makes this entire area useless, which is really unfortunate. But at least as someone who really enjoys seeing pieces of content and, like, I guess games in general, like, preserved, it is really cool to see this entire area preserved, where there's also like another version of Lion's Arch that we see in Guild Wars 2 that we don't really get to experience too much, but we might be able to highlight it a little bit. And we have the old Black Lion Trading Center over here, which I've always thought was like a really cool area. But in many ways, it's kind of similar to Lion's Arch, and in many other ways, it's very different, where it's like still like the same like general geography and stuff. And we got like old Lion's Arch down here, and we got like locations of like Fort Mariner are still here, and like the Traders Forum are still there, but they just look very different, where we don't have the giant aerodrome located here, but we still got, like, you know, a bunch of like Vigil stuff going on, some Mist stuff going on. We even got a Zaishin Observer right here, and there's just like so many cool things, where we got all the dungeon quartermasters located right here, where there's one for each dungeon. Just largely a very beautiful area that we unfortunately cannot use our mount in, and we cannot glide in, which is how it was back in the day, of course, but it definitely also contributes to being a little less popular. Over here is the like typical entrance to like Bloodtide Coast, and then we got the classic arena right here, and we do have the jumping puzzles that we can experience, including the original Trolls jumping puzzle, where let's go ahead and come over to maybe the Gatehall Plaza is like one of the coolest areas actually, where we have this area right here that I just love a lot, with all the different portals coming in from the different cities, where we got the 5 portals located here, and we also got the iconic Grand Piazza here, where we have like the Lion's Court Fountain statue, whatever it was called, which was actually destroyed during the first Shadow of the Mad King Festival. And then this is like where we see the Sky Pirates episode begin, right over here. And just so many cool and aesthetic areas, where let's go explore one more area really quickly actually. Because if we jump down here, I just love like the vibes of this entire area with like all the boats and stuff. Or if we come into here, we can go ahead and enter the Lion's Arch sewers, kind of like we did in the Vigil storyline, but it's a lot more opened up in the open world part of Lion's Arch, where we can go ahead and enter the Special Order Whispers area. That just looks so absolutely incredible. I love this so much. Such a cool area. On the way towards the jumping puzzle, we also have one little area right up here that we can head to, where I really like this location, which is the original Crow's Nest Tavern. We got Ellen Keel, Bonnie, and Reed, and I can go ahead and just enter this just magnificent area that I love so much. It's a really cool looking bar. And there's also another bar that's really cool looking right next to the entrance to the jumping puzzle. We're fine. Wow, I took no fall damage at all. Also love like the tents right there, or the canopies that look like ocean waves. It's a very cool touch. Over the Traders Forum, where we've been to so many different places in Lion's Arch throughout this Let's Play series so far, just through the story missions. And it's really nice to just be able to run around freely. But up here we have this really cool looking bar that I love a lot. And it's just like super high up in the sky of Lion's Arch above the Traders Forum. And it's just like a casual bar where there's a lot of people just hanging out here. And I just think that's like a great thing. But back over here, we have the entrance to the jumping puzzle, where if you carefully come right here, and then right over here actually, we have this little well that we can go ahead and fall into, where there is water at the bottom, and then we can just swim through here, where we can see some people talking up above. And this is the jumping puzzle that was removed and added with the Tro's Revenge jumping puzzle, which is like the massive like parkour course basically that you can do in Lion's Arch nowadays, where a lot of people did not enjoy this jumping puzzle too much. And I'm gonna have to like kind of remember how it goes, though I think I've done it a little recently. Alright, let's go ahead and jump up this way very carefully. And then we enter a very like tight and cramped and like slightly like claustrophobic inducing like cavern that a lot of people really did not enjoy. But I think if we come up here, we can start climbing up this way, is it? And then we have to clamber up here very carefully. And then from here on out, it's really easy to like just fall and have to like reset back to that area that we just climbed up. But we got this like beautiful skylight right here. And then there's somewhere down in here we have to drop. Is it here? Almost right there. Okay. And then, oh, this is so tight. And this is even worse if you're playing like a Char or a Norn. Oh geez. Okay. These are like really tricky jumps, just from like a, you have to be kind of precise and not bonk your head on literally anything. Across here, it just feels like you can't make any jump, where maybe you're not supposed to be able to make that jump specifically. And I'm back at the beginning. If you have no idea what's going on, don't be ashamed. I barely have any idea what's going on with the jumping puzzle, though I do kind of enjoy it because of that, where maybe I'm fully dead. Okay, I'm fine. Maybe we don't take fall damage in Memory of Lion's Arch actually. But just down here, and then let's try again. Okay, through here brings us to here, where I'm not sure where the next place is. Okay, I guess I just messed up the jump. Then we have to like just squirm our way through. It's like really just like cave diving right now. I think we're almost at the end, so let's not mess this up. Get to here, and then we got to here where we can go ahead and harvest the crops from this poor troll's garden. Wish we have seen this troll before. Just steal the strawberry and the potato, and then a few more jumps to get to the grand chest, where if I mess this up, I think I'm just gonna call it good enough. Let's give ourselves some swiftness. There, to there, to there, and then we got the grand chest, and we have successfully completed this jumping puzzle, where it is cool to be able to re-experience this jumping puzzle and to just see like all the different parts of Lion's Arch. Let's go to Far Shore really quickly just to take a look at one last location where it's kind of similar to how it is in the modern version of Lion's Arch, but also really, really different. There's no entrance to the Shiver Peaks this way, I think, where the Lornar's Pass entrance was added way later, but it's just a really cool looking farm area. And a very cool looking ranch right here for a very cool looking city. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this episode good here. We're had a lot of fun playing through this part of Living Road Season 1, and I'm excited to finish it up in the next few episodes. But I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Remember, as always, to drink some water and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in the Road of Tyria. Goodbye.